So I'm a big Lyft person. I know you're a big Uber person. I feel like that's interesting, except for what about the drivers?
It's been great having you, by the way, on your last episode here.
I'm looking forward to the physical confrontation part of the show.
It's been really great having you here, Danielle.
I mean, I'm not an investor, but I'm curious, do you think that means the Uber drivers are going to make less money, or are they just subsidizing it by paying them
I don't know the details, so to be clear,
I know I shouldn't ask you detailed questions about
it's
this
fine
company.
to ask me because I'm always very clear
Well, the
about it.
driver blogs would imply that they're not subsidizing because they're pretty angry.
They're pretty angry. I mean, that's a problem because with Lyft, you, I think, at least tip people. Do you tip on Uber?
You can't tip on Uber.
Yeah.
I always
and that
tip
to
on
me,
Lyft. I always leave $2 just like I would in New York. If I'm taking a cab, I'm taking a cab.
The thing with the tipping is it adds another level of decision making to the process. So you have really one decision, like where you are and where you're going. It's like you put that in and you're kind of done. I guess you have to pick Uber X or what you're going to take, but most people don't change that, I think, too often.
Yeah, they just do the same thing.
So if people do the same thing, you're basically picking your destination and you're done.
Right.
If you then get surge pricing, you have to confirm that. So that's a second decision. And then leaving and having to decide the tip, you have the rating, you have to decide tip. Now you'd be at like 4 decisions instead of 3 or 3 decisions instead of 2. So it's either 33% or 25% more decision making. So that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to me, it's like, I always wonder how it affects driver quality for them, if they can
We'll
attract
see.
the best
I mean, every
drivers.
time they've done a cut, my understanding from reading the press, not from inside information, is that they've always made the difference up, or they've guaranteed the difference, and that they've always been right. So if you lower I know anecdotally, people are using Uber more this January since they lowered the prices.
Yeah,
demand, people are using it more. Like for me, it became, I literally made the decision, like I'm going to sell one car and I'm going full Uber.
I mean, they just want to kill Lyft, right? They need to basically get every single person to use Uber as their main service. Like, it's very valuable for them to just
I don't even think it's
obliterate.
Lyft, to be honest. I don't think they need to kill Lyft. I think what they need to kill is car ownership.
Didn't the Yellow Cab San Francisco go bankrupt just recently?
I don't know if that's a company or it's like
don't know
one
how
of the
that
10
works.
companies.
It's the largest cab company in San Francisco.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that's who they're killing, right?
They have an inferior product. I mean, does anybody really want to take a taxi?
But they need to like scorch all this stuff. Like, actually, it's really funny with Box. It's actually a similar scenario. One of the best benefits of Box's price getting lower in the public market is all of the stuff they want to buy is pegged to their valuation.
Right.
So as their valuation's going down, Box could also go and snap these things up. I just wonder if Uber could take a similar strategy of like driving down the value of things it wants to acquire.
Yeah, I don't think it has to. I think like they really want you to get rid of your car. I honestly think that there's only a certain number of people who do taxis. So really when people look at it and say like they're trying to kill Lyft or they're trying to kill the taxi business, like I think that was the story 2 years ago. I think the story like right now is, will people get rid of their cars?
In urban areas only then, because I grew up in Vermont. We weren't getting rid of
In Vermont, no. In LA, yes. There are people in LA, which they said in LA, you will never give your car up. There are people I know in LA who are full Uber now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you do that? They're like, well, it costs me probably the same or $50 more a month, but I get all that time back. And I'm like, so there's a theory that like, right now, the rent-a-cars, right? Like why would you rent a car? It's so painful. You just go full Uber, right?
Yeah.
So I think the same logic will apply to owning a car. Like, do you guys own cars in the city?
I haven't owned a car since I lived in New York. So
I drive it like never.
You drive it never.
I have Zergs because I was like, I guess I should drive my car. Then I need to deal with parking. And I'm just like, can I just get out of this now?
Right. And
I probably will about a year from now.
Because here's the thing that I realized, and David Sachs was telling this for years, and I was like, well, I kind of like driving. I have the Tesla. I like, whatever. But I also like being able to have my eyes closed in the car, which you can't do when you're driving, or make phone calls and not be distracted, or do email. So now I'm really enjoying getting that time back. It's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day I get back. It's like getting back almost an hour a day.
It's pretty great.
And, hey, this is really not even an ad. This is me telling you about a product I use all week long, and that's GoToMeeting. I love GoToMeeting because, listen, I take a lot of meetings, and it's a hassle to get around town, get down to the valley, go to New York, go to LA, whatever. And GoToMeeting just works because it's fast, it's on a private network, and I can screen share, and I can do HD video. And you can meet from any computer, tablet, or smartphone without all those crazy travel hassles and travel expenses. Your team can join with just one quick link. No signups, no speed bumps. It just works perfectly. And like I said, they do the HD quality now. So the fidelity is amazing. And the thing I love most is I have this little Chrome extension for GoToMeeting where when I put something in my Google Calendar, I can just click to make a link for everybody. So I make that just by default in case when I'm on, when the meeting's happening, I need to get somebody else on the call. I can just say, click the link. And what's also great is some people do it on their computer. Some people call in on their phone. It just works. And that's the most important thing with these. So I want you to try GoToMeeting today. Try it for 30 days free. There's nothing to lose. Visit GoToMeeting.com and click the Try It Free button. Do it now and you'll have your first meeting set up and running in minutes. And that's GoToMeeting.com for your free 30-day trial. I love it. I use it. It's awesome. Oh, you can also record the audio too. So if somebody misses the meeting, you can do that. And there's a little chat room there. So a lot of times I'll be throwing stuff into the chat room because, hey, you might have 5 different companies or 3 different companies on a call, 2 different lawyers. Not everybody's in the same hip chat or Slack room. You use GoToMeeting, it's got its own little chat room there, so that works really well. Also, you can let other people, you can switch who the presenter is, and I do that multiple times during a call, and it just works. So thank you to our friends.